Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening. It is Saturday, October 7th, 2023. Okay, so what I've got for you for this video is Paul, a man of grit and grace, Charles L. Swindol, or Charles R. Swindol. Okay, and this is on page 250. And I wanted to read this section because I saw it. I opened it up to it. I just went like this, and I opened up to it. And the word boom is in here, and it was in my ghost hunting tools. So we're going to read these 2 pages. The section's called Golden Opportunity. Brethren and fathers, hear my defense, which I now offer to you. And when they heard that he was addressing them in the Hebrew dialect, and that's a language, and it also said, the ghost hunting tools also said language, but I also think it could be Gary Chapman's The 5 Love Languages. Hebrew dialect, they became even more quiet, and he said, I am a Jew, born in Tarsus of Cilicia, but brought up in this city, educated under Gamaliel, strictly according to the law of our fathers, being zealous for God, just as you all are today. And I persecuted this way to the death, binding and putting both men and women into prisons. Acts 22, 1 through 4. These people are thinking, so far, so good. Our kind of guy. They're all on the same theological page. They too were Jews. They too despise the Christians. Nothing he has said so far gives them cause for alarm. And then there's scripture. And I said, Lord, thy themselves understand that in one synagogue after another I used to imprison and beat those who believed in thee. And when the blood of thy witness Stephen was being shed, I also was standing by, approving and watching out for the cloaks of those who were slaying him. And he said to me, Go, for I will send you far away to the Gentiles. Acts 22, verses 19 through 21. Did he say Gentiles? Yes. The man used the G word. Boom. And there it is. Boom. That's all the volatile crowd needed to hear. What an explosion. They had heard enough. This man is now concerned about Gentiles. We don't talk to Gentiles. We don't relate to Gentiles. Our children don't go to school with Gentiles. We refuse to live among Gentiles. Gentiles were like a pack of wild dogs. That's all it took. The place erupted in dust. The Roman commander stepped in and rescued Paul, ordering him to be brought inside the barracks and prepared for a flogging. He was determined to teach the preacher a lesson. Paul was stretched over a stump, wrists and ankles bound with leather thongs. In only a few moments, Paul would feel the stinging smack of the bone-edged straps tearing into his already scarred back. Though about to be scourged, his keen mind never once flinched. Managing to turn his head and speak in the direction of his tormentor, Paul calmly asked, Is it lawful for you to scourge a man who is a Roman and uncondemned? Is that thinking straight under pressure or what? Imagine the shock on the lictor's face. He had no clue the man was a Roman citizen. They immediately reported it to the cohort, who promptly halted the torture. Under Roman law, citizens were not to be tortured without trial. They were on the verge of committing an infraction punishable by death. Lysias, the cohort, demanded, Get him off the rack. Don't whip him. Take off those chains. It must have been an exasperating experience for the high-ranking officer. Recalling the stiff bribes he paid for his own claim to Rome, he snorted. I acquired the citizenship with a large sum of money. Without blinking, Paul replied with an eye-opening statement. I was born a Roman. Case closed. Case closed. The issue would go to the Jews' Supreme Court. Straight thinking again paid off in spades. Okay, this section is called A Clever Escape. Another kangaroo court scene opens in Acts 23 with an emergency meeting of the Sanhedrin. Emergency meeting. Lysias, after piously escorting Paul to the august chamber, waited outside the door. With creative skill, John Pollock summarizes the scene. Paul stood in the precise spot where Stephen had stood, and the 71 judges, included a few surviving from the time of Stephen's trial. The president was Ananias ben Nebabeus, high priest since AD 47, one of the most rapacious men ever to disgrace the office. Paul did not know him by sight, and the damage done by the mob's violence made sharp vision difficult. It had not, however, reduced the strength of the personality he could exert through his eyes. He gripped the council with the intense gaze which had quelled Elymas the Cypriot long ago, and thereby he seized the initiative and opened the proceedings himself. Okay, so that's all I've got for you for this video. If you like this content, like this video, or comment below. Thank you very much, and don't forget to rainbow it. Feel the love. Okay, if that's what you want to do, feel the love. Feel the world with love, peace, joy, and charity. Thank you, and have a good day.